So Jill, cities and counties are going through some pretty tough economic times, and libraries are looking at some declining budgets. As local governments try to set priorities, where do you think libraries should fall in with all the other things that local government has to do?
Well, our hope would be that city and county managers who are in a very influential place to make decisions about budgets will see libraries as a tremendous asset in their communities, particularly with the downturn in the economy and people really seeking out the public library to find the kinds of information, access to benefits that they need to really weather a very difficult economic and financial time for folks.
So are you suggesting that libraries are really part of a broader economic development strategy?
I think we would argue that, public libraries are an essential service, particularly during this economic downturn when people are looking for employment, looking for jobs, looking for information about how to improve their quality of lives. As an economic development strategy, certainly public libraries, we've seen both their physical presence catalyze additional development in distressed areas around the country, but more importantly, they're an investment in a city's human capital.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a tough question, and if you need to think about it, feel free to. Given that libraries are important in the eyes of a lot of people, and they have a lot of support from foundations such as the one you represent, why can't the private sector and foundations really just support libraries during these tough times?
Well, again, I think we would say that, public library service is in fact a public good, and that all people, regardless of, again, where you live, how much money you make, who you are, should be entitled to knowledge. And we believe that is in part a collective responsibility of our public sector and the government to provide that service to all. So can foundations, private corporations, philanthropic efforts support that? Absolutely, we should. But it should, in fact, we do believe, be a primary service of our public sector and our government services.
So how far can foundations really go?
Well, I think that we believe that we are a catalyst in some ways. I think the Gates Foundation saw an opportunity to help libraries transform the way they deliver information to their patrons. As technology was rapidly changing, as people were consuming information in different ways, our role was to really support the public library in thinking about a different way to deliver information and think about a way to really transform themselves as an institution. So foundations can be, I think, particularly helpful in the change management process, but we really do believe that the public sector has then an obligation and a responsibility to sustain that change over time.
So what do you think the foundation has accomplished with its efforts thus far? Has it been worthwhile?
Oh, absolutely. This is the partnership with public libraries is one that the Gates family is particularly proud of. We started this program in 1997 when 1 in 4 public libraries were connected to the internet, and today you can walk into any public library in America and there should be at least one workstation connected to an internet connection. And so that's been phenomenal. But we don't credit ourselves for doing that. We really credit the field of public libraries for being receptive to the change, for being receptive to the foundation's support, and we couldn't be more thrilled with the partnership.
So how has the partnership with ICMA gone? What led you to actually partner with an organization like ICMA?
Well, what's important for the public library and its ongoing sustainability and viability in a community is to make sure it has community support. And so that means support from the public, but it also means support from elected and appointed officials. And so when we began looking at how we could raise awareness of the evolving role that public libraries were playing, we thought to ourselves, city and county managers are incredibly important leaders in their community. They are making tough decisions, they are making recommendations to their elected bodies. And so the thought was that if we could excite them about this asset in their communities and to really help them be more effective in the work that they were doing, using the public library to do that, our hope was we can build a whole new cadre of champions and advocates for the public library.
Thank you so much. The foundation's been a great partner. We look forward to working with you in the future.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Okay.